The late adopter. Good morning, everybody. I hope you slept well. Welcome to the Bitcoin Daily every single day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar, because, you know, we do the Bitcoin Daily. I'm totally off the intro, guys. I'm totally off the intro. We do the Bitcoin Daily because we gotta know what's happening with Bitcoin and what's happening with altcoins. So, you know, how's everybody doing in the chat? The center plan was up. M21 photo first. I met Chamali is also here. JPD, TG Banana, or something like that. Chris is in the chat. Farid, Matthew Hart, first, last. Dogecoin to the moon. We're gonna talk about a little bit more about Dogecoin. Mr. Empire, yeah, that knock life. Kids got alligator blood. Keep checking and checking. Hi Jeffrey. How's everybody doing? Be doing good. Will. Hi man. Welcome. So, Bitcoin is doing well. Well, it's not doing well. It's actually doing crap. Waves. Manoy. Hi, man. Wave back. So, guys, how you doing? I wasn't actually that prepared for today's video. I haven't been looking at that much on the chart, but it's not the best thing ever. And right now, we got this, you know, this bearish engulfing candle happening. XRP pump income. Yeah, we're gonna talk about XRP. So the way I thought this is gonna go today down is we're gonna look at some news, chat about that. We're gonna look at what Bitcoin is doing, chat about that, and you know, we're just gonna prepare ourselves for what is about to come, right? So the biggest news today right now, I think it's the XRP news. Ripple CEO SEC case is going much better than I hoped, and he says the lawsuit has gone extremely well and much better than I could have hoped for when it began 15 months ago. So he's saying that, you know, whatever he was, you know, hoping to get out of, you know, they are doing very well so far. So he seems optimistic. So this is very good for price of XRP. And as you'll see on the charts, XRP today is up 6.28%. It was up like 10% today, but right now it's 6 point something percent. So I think that's the deal with the XRP right now. He pumps XRP to sell his bags. I might be that as well, you know. We are just assuming, you know, it might be doing with something with the article, you know, and people are a little bit bullish. That XRP news is pretty crap. Yeah, but there is nothing else. There is nothing else to explain this time, you know, this move towards the upside up here. You know, we went a little bit overextended. We might have moved a little bit towards the upside up here, you know, that would be normal. But this move up here, you know, towards upside up here, you know, might be affected a little bit by the news. Not that much, but a little bit by the news. The other interesting news is that Robinhood CEO outlines how Doge could become currency of the internet. So he was on Twitter and, you know, posting how, you know, Dogecoin is transaction fees. Dogecoins are very, very low, but what needs to be done is increase the throughput, because right now it's only 40 transactions per second, and they need to get above like 65,000 second, you know, 65,000 transactions per second, and that can only be done if they increase the block size and so forth. So you know, it's doable. But the thing is, the Robinhood guy, you know, the Vlad, he's talking about Dogecoin, so this is also very, very bullish for Dogecoin. So right now, you know, you got Elon Musk, you know, shilling Dogecoin. He's trying to buy Twitter, and then it comes, you know, Robinhood CEO starts, you know, talking about how Dogecoin could become currency of the internet. So, you know, all news are good news, right? All news are good news. So that's about it, what's happening with Dogecoin. And right now Dogecoin is up still 0.49. Yesterday it was up. Day before it was up like 4 days in a row. He's been going a little bit up here. I'm not seeing any kind of breakout, a big breakout up here. Maybe there is a breakout up here. Yeah, but you can enjoy it also like this, and there is no breakout up here. Or something like this up here. So you know, I think you know, if Dogecoin wants to break this this move on the downside, because it was going up here, you know, and broke on the downside down here. So if it wants to break towards the upside, you know, if it don't want to get rejected, it needs to do a nice move up here, you know, and continue. But we'll see how it actually plays out. But where is the line? Where is the line? Up here somewhere, give or take. Maybe even down here. Maybe even down here. Maybe down here. So it's bullish for Dogecoin. Please give us your quick opinion on Waves crypto. Not right now, man. Not right now. Call me insane, but I'm mega bullish. The center plan. How did you figure that out? How did you figure that out? Whatever happens today, they can be ruined. My football club Feyenoord reached the semi-finals in Euro Cup football last night, thanks to Norway for 2 great Norwegians in our team. Ah, you're welcome, man. The European Euro Cup, the Euro Cup, the conference league is very big in Norway right now, because you know our best team in Norway right now, sorry, not Bram, Bodo Glimt, you know, played versus Rome, and the first game they went, you know, they won 2-1 at home, but you know, last night they got crushed like 4-0 by Rome, so it was kind of expected. And that was also a big thing, because there was some fighting going on, and you know, stuff was happening. But they got crushed last night. But I'm glad that, you know, Feyenoord is doing well, man. I'm glad Feyenoord is doing well. Now let's go over to Bitcoin and see what's happening with Bitcoin. And the worst thing that could happen on Bitcoin did happen on Bitcoin. I drew these nice lines up here, so you know, this is some kind of hope. We're gonna talk about this in, you know, in a very short while. We're gonna talk about this, but first, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the daily time frame. We're gonna talk about this bearish engulfing candle, guys. This bearish engulfing candle. So you can see here that Bitcoin went up here with a big green candle, but it came back down with a bigger red candle. You know, bearish engulfing candle. It's a little bit bearish. Doesn't have to mean much, but you know, the best case scenario would be, you know, if it wasn't bearish, then we could be talking about some kind of, you know, some kind of move towards the upside. But this is kind of bearish, you know, so we gotta accept that. Full moon plus market has been manipulated into thinking we're going into recession now. I think we won't. That's good question. So over here, this still looks like accumulation phase up here. This still look like, I mean, up here it was looking at accumulation. We became super bullish up here, you know, until we hit the top up here. We're expecting to pull back, and we're expecting, you know, going down up here. It did go down. We were saying if we start going down below certain levels, that's bad. Right now it is bad, and we are in some kind of fear that it's gonna break on the downside. But we are still above certain, you know, trend line up here that might continue towards upside. So maybe what's happening up here is still some kind of accumulation zone. And this accumulation zone has been going for a very long time. This has been going on, you know, I would say ever since, you know, 23rd of January, we have had this accumulation zone. So if this is accumulation, because right now we still got these, you know, lower highs, sorry, higher lows, these higher lows, and we got, at least from over here, some kind of higher highs up here. Technically, we got some kind of move up here, but you know, we are still looking at this as a bear flag, you know, and you know, if this wants to go on the downside, it needs to break certain levels first, right? So even with this engulfing candle up here, I'm not that bearish. I gotta tell you guys, I'm not that bearish. And as the central plan is saying right now, there is a full moon coming tomorrow. Well, yesterday I was already watching the full moon. It was kind of big, you know, it was kind of full. So, you know, for me, it's already full moon. But tomorrow the full moon starts, or tonight evening the full moon starts. It's on the 16th, right? So it's right up there. So when exactly the world is starting, you know, that depends. But the full moon is definitely starting soon. And we have been bleeding towards downside for a long time. So over here there is two options the way I see it. Two options. The one option is the consolidation phase above the trend line up here. Where is the trend line? Somewhere up here. There is a trend line. The one option is consolidation phase up here before we again move towards the upside. The second option is, of course, breaking the trend. Breaking the trend on the downside. I would like not to break the trend on the downside. Let's try to pop the line up here, somewhere up here. Maybe it's something like this, give or take. As you can see here, we have been, you know, we have had these moves down before, like over here. I mean, these big moves towards the support, you know, they did happen before. And it doesn't mean that, you know, just because you're a little bit bearish that you're gonna break the support on the downside. But over here, you can see here, there was no engulfing bearish candle up here. So we had a big, you know, green candle, and then, you know, not bearish engulfing candle on the red one, right? Even on this move down here, this is not a big green candle, but you know, there is no bearish engulfing candle. Now over here we became very bullish because we got this bullish engulfing candle above, you know, certain levels. You know, we start talking about this starts looking good, right? That was looking good, but over here the only problem right now is, you know, this bearish engulfing candle, guys. It shows bearishness, you know, and we are always looking at like what shows bearishness, what shows bullishness, what's good, what's bad, and this is bad, right? This is bad. The good stuff is that we are a full moon coming, so we might dump, you know, have some kind of fake out on the downside up here and then continue towards upside. That can definitely happen, but right now, you know, with this bearish engulfing candle, I need to see some kind of moves towards upside before we change them out. Like over here, like this bullish engulfing candle above the 10 moving average, super bullish of the support. Very nice, we like that, no problem whatsoever, right? Over here right now, not so much. So I'm still kind of, you know, in a little bit on, you know, on a side. What do you call it? Looking at it from a side, you know, watching what's gonna happen over here, because it is a little bit uncertain which direction is gonna pop. You know, we might assume, we might be bullish, we might be bearish, we might be biased towards one side or the other side, but it is kind of, you know, a little bit tricky. Now the good stuff is that, you know, we got the full moon coming over here, right? We are at support. You know, we are in some kind of consolidation pattern up here, all right? So it's only on the small, you know, this engulfing candle that's a little bit a problem, Also, you'll see here that I'm going to show you, let me show you some kind of bullish signals, guys, okay? So I'm going to show you some kind of bullish signal. First bullish signal is that we are already at some kind of, you know, 40 levels up here. So, you know, there is probability towards the upside and downside. But since we are below the 50, you know, the pullback should be, you know, looking towards upside a little bit up here. But you can definitely pull on the downside. So this is not, what I'm trying to say with RSI, it's not bearish, but it's not bullish either, but, you know, it's neutral. So RSI neutral, but that's fine. Now look at the MACD down here on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, what we're having here down here is over here we had, you know, a big move towards downside. The momentum was increasing. Over here we are consolidating with decreasing momentum. That's fine, but still doesn't give us that much of a, you know, it's not, you know, any kind of divergence or anything like that, right? It is consolidating. The momentum is moving toward downside, so this can definitely, you know, just continue on the downside as well. But it, you know, it is some kind of a consolidation phase happening right here at the bottom. Now look at the volume down here, guys. The volume is going down on this move towards downside. So this move towards downside has having this decreasing volume, and the volume, you know, we went down with the decreasing volume, and you know, there is no interest in the move towards downside. There is no interest in the move towards downside, the way I see it. You can also see the bigger, you know, over here a little bit better, because this is a Qcoin chart, so you can see definitely the volume going down. So there is no interest in price going lower down, and we gotta ask ourselves, like, how far down can the price go? I mean, if it does break on downside, you know, the fear will kick in. But like the center player says, people think we are going into recession. I've also seen some kind of news right now on Norwegian channels that you know people are scared that, you know, we are going into recession. So, you know, oftentimes people are mostly wrong, and this might actually turn towards upside. I'm not actually placing any kind of bets right now or anything like that this is going to go towards upside, downside. This is right now a little bit too uncertain what's gonna happen. I'm gonna also show you some bearish time. Now on the weekly time frame, we are unfortunately breaking the 10 moving average on the downside down here. We still got 2 days left. We still got 2 days left and 17 hours to close this candle up here. But you'll see, for example, on CME futures that we are already closed below the 10 moving average down here. We still got these low, higher low things going on over here, but we have been dumping on the downside. So, you know, next week we definitely need some kind of move towards upside, because this already looks very, very bad from the, you know, a weekly perspective. And over here we are already looking like we are going to create some kind of bearish cross, you know, next week, if this definitely continues on the downside. So we need a big candle up here, or we are kind of doomed. We are kind of doomed on the downside. Right now sitting at some kind of 43 levels on the RSI. RSI. So short term, there is some kind of hopium down here. I'm going to show you right now. I think on this chart. No, it's this chart over here. What chart was I looking at? This chart over here. So if you go to 1 hourly time frame, what I'm going to show you down here is a triangle. It's a nice triangle up here. So you got something like this up here from over here. Yeah, so you see the triangle. This is the triangle. You can see here we have some kind of, you know, breakouts towards the upside and stuff like that. But, you know, it is generally a decent triangle. And, you know, after we went to this move on downside, we came in the triangle up here, tried to go back down. We consolidated inside triangle, broke above it. Right now we are retesting. It does look like it just might pump towards the upside up here. So it is some kind of triangle, you know, on the very, very small time. It might indicate, you know, another move towards the upside up here. It is very, you know, it can definitely easily happen because, up here we went on the downside, so you can, you know, try to, it doesn't say that we are going to go up out of the triangle or anything like that, but, you know, small move towards the upside can definitely come out of this triangle over here on the 1 hourly. You know, we are already outside of it. We are right now testing the support. If the support holds and we get back above the, you know, 40,200 or something like that, we might see a small move towards the upside, which might affect the altcoins as well, right? It might affect the altcoins as well. But it's a small triangle. It's a very small triangle. It can indicate some kind of you know, direction short term. But long term, you can see over here that we got a lot of room left towards the upside before we hit the resistance. So this was resistance up here. We, you know, got rejected by that with an engulfing candle right back down again. So right up here, we can definitely do, you know, another move or something like that until these moving averages start kicking in and we fall on the downside. So that's, you know, there is an option for that as well. But I'm not very optimistic right now. You know, the only thing we got right now is the full moon on the 16th that's coming in. This is the full moon that's coming in on the 16th up here. We got a full moon, and, you know, based on full moon, this should, you know, either go sideways or it should pump towards the upside. Now, when is the next new moon? That's the question. Next new moon. 16th full moon, and then you got new moon on April 30th. So April 30, when is April 30? You guys think we're gonna just go sideways up here and then, you know, dump down? I don't think so. I don't think so. Might be that, but I don't think so. Crypto Cleo predicted the whole move on Twitter from 48 down, and he's now calling for 37. 48 down. Well, we kind of were predicting the whole move from 48 down as well, because this was, you know, we didn't say it's gonna go like this, but we said, you know, up here pullback, that's fine. When it started going up here, this needs to drop down. It dropped down. Once we said if it breaks certain levels, it might, you know, go down to and hold this support, hold, you know, off the support might continue on the downside. But we can see this big candle down here once we broke the support on the downside, because it was very, very important support. So we broke that very important support on the downside. We pulled back, tested the resistance. The resistance is definitely kicking in right now. This looks more bearish than bullish, guys. This looks more bearish than bullish. Unfortunately, it looks more bearish than bullish. Do you have targets for the downside? Yeah, we did the targets yesterday, so I'm not gonna, you know, some important levels over here. Oh, all of the, like, you don't want to go below 31.7, okay? You don't want to go below 31.7. Okay, that's the thing. So, you know, we got a lot of supports below us over here. We got a lot of you know, supports over here below us. So depends on how much down we go. So if you start breaking this on downside up here, you know, we might be seeing, you know, certain levels from any of these support lines, right? We might just bounce towards the upside, but we are looking for where the support is gonna kick in. Where the support is gonna kick in. Let's go, Tiela. Live stream wakes me up in the morning. BPD5. Dzień dobry from Poland. Dobro jutro. I'll be careful first few days of the full moon. It's been known to dump hard. It does look bearish. It does look more bearish than bullish. So it can dump down here. We get some kind of, you know, fake out towards downside and then pump, you know, big time towards the upside. So this might be the, you know, some kind of latest shakeout, you know, that happens. That's fully probable. I'm not saying it's not, but you believe in on-chain. I think on-chain is good, and it can indicate some, you know, can give you some potential indication of the long term, but you know, you need to be able to analyze it. I'm not very good at analyzing on-chain data, so you know, we don't do that over here. Everything looks bullish, but not dumping like forever. It doesn't look that bullish. I mean, there are some kind of good news coming in and stuff like that. We are not pumping that hard, but I wouldn't say, like over here it started looking very bullish. After this consolidation phase, after this, you know, strong support, we bounced back up. The first resistance up here pulled us back down to the support. Right now we broke very important resistance. We got rejected by that resistance. Sorry, we broke very important support. We got rejected by that support up here. Bearish engulfing candle back at this support line. The question is, will this support hold? Because, you know, this support has been holding for, you know, a lot of times up here. This first time, maybe the second time, maybe I would call this third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, seventh time, eighth time. Yeah, so maybe the TLA rule comes into here. You know, if you hit like 26 plus time, 7 plus time, it's, you know, godly support. So we'll see that. If it manages to bounce off of this, guys, yeah, I would say if this manages to bounce off of this level up here, and it goes, you know, it doesn't have to go to 50,000 or whatever, it really doesn't matter. If it manages to bounce off of this move down here towards the upside and starts, you know, climbing above, you know, certain levels up here, I would say we are extremely bullish at that point if this manages to do that. Right now on the downside, I think it's more probable because that's what kind of people are expecting. Everybody's looking for that. But any kind of bounce up here, you know, above, you know, around 44, 45,000 level, backed up here again, you know, would be very bullish move for Bitcoin. Didn't the TLA rule get broken? Like, yeah, it gets broken, but you know, we fix it, you know, it just works, you know. And no rule in a TA works, you know, 100% of the time. So, you know, there's that. There is always chance for failure, you know, 1 out of every 168 times, it's okay. So, you know, we failed a little bit on the, you know, on some moves there, but you know, it really doesn't matter. Nice save, bro. Yeah, nice save. So that's what I'm looking at Bitcoin right now for. And XRP is looking good. Dogecoin is very exciting right now. I think people are also talking about the near still. Near's down -3%. It looks like it's gonna break. I was thinking this might play out as some kind of bump and run pattern, but it looks like it might break on the downside down here. If it does that, and that's because of these moves up here, it looks like it's some kind of inverse, it's some kind of head and shoulders pattern for me up here. So it might pull back, you know, below the support line. But I've seen a lot of talk about near, and you know, people are, you know, talking too much about it. So definitely on the people's mind. But I think this might just, I think there is right now probability to actually drop on the downside a little bit. What do you think of the idea of NFTs? You know, I disregarded NFTs when they came out. You know, I was seeing the bubble, you know, in NFTs, but it's not going away. So definitely a big thing. But I'm still failing to see how, you know, CryptoPunks will be worth millions. You know? I just cannot wrap my head around the fact that, you know, 6,000 images are worth like, you know, large sums of money, you know. So the way I see CryptoPunks, right, is I mean, technically it's if I buy an image, right, if I buy any kind of, you know, picture of something, right, and it costs maybe 1 Ethereum or 10 Ethereum or 100 Ethereum, right, what am I hoping for that? Am I holding it for the hold value in 10 years, that CryptoPunk hold value in 10 years? Kinda you're hoping for that, but you're also hoping that, you know, there will come somebody that's gonna buy it from you for, you know, larger sums of money. It doesn't have, you know, the point with NFTs, like, it's like rich people buying, you know, holding value. I cannot wrap my hand around, you know, I can, sorry, I just cannot do it. There is this guy called on, I forget about it, on YouTube, the guy, whatever, and he was like, I did like 50 hours of research, and, you know, I you know, bought you know, a lot of NFTs and stuff like that, and I haven't done the research, but, you know, it's do you have smart contracts on NFTs? No. Do you have like DEX exchanges on NFTs? No. Is there DeFi on NFTs? No. So we are just buying and selling playing cards. Yes, that's true. But it's like Pokemon cards, right? The value goes up on certain cards, not every card, right? Certain cards in NFT will always have a lot of value. But which cards that's gonna be, you know, you don't know, right? So I think NFTs are like Pokemon cards. Not all cards are gonna be valuable, but certain cards might be valuable, right? So that's what I think about it, you know. But again, I haven't done the research. I haven't really been into NFTs, you know. But there is, you know, of course. Sorry. That's about NFT images. Of course, there is a whole new space where NFTs has, you know, value, and that's, for example, in-game, you know, tokens, in-game, you know, stuff like, you know, staffs and this and that, you know. Like, there is definitely use for NFTs in the way, you know, when you combine NFTs with some kind of project or game or whatever, and you want to sell items in that space, right? But just selling random images like NFTs, what do we think of NFTs, like, you know, CryptoPunks and stuff like that? Some of these will have value, just like Pokemon. Some of Pokemon cards have big value, but most of them won't. They have some utility, yeah. So there is that, you know. I don't want to say too much about NFTs, but, you know, people as art, maybe it's not it. Yeah, as art, I don't know about that. But, you know, you can also, I mean, I definitely see some kind of value. The problem is that you cannot, at least I cannot figure out like what's a good NFT and what's not good NFT. What will go up in value, what will not go up in value. I just don't have that insight. I don't know why. But, you know, I look at these CryptoPunks like that, you know, 6,000 of them, or how many there is, 10,000 of the CryptoPunks, right? And I cannot just figure out which to buy, which will go up, what does determine the price, you know. So, nah. Maybe one day I will kind of be like, oh, so that's why CryptoPunks are that expensive, you know. Maybe it will click in my head one day, and I will just FOMO in on the, you know, on the top. But, you know, right now I just don't see it. Anyways, guys, I don't want to drag out this stream any longer than it needs to be. Don't have that much to talk about. I think it's a little bit more bearish than bullish. There are some positive signals that this might go towards the upside, but I would say the likelihood right now is you know, a move towards the downside first before we bounce towards the upside. The best case scenario is some kind of overextend big move towards the downside, some kind of spring effect up here when it launches us towards the upside. So I would like to have this spring on the downside. And once it starts going down, although it might start looking bearish, if we see some kind of overextended levels, if we see some kind of, you know, reversal patterns, anything like that, this might be some kind of fast movement towards the downside. This might be the spring that we need to launch us, you know, propel us towards the upside, you know, towards the upside. A little bit more bullish, bearish than bullish, unfortunately, right now. Hoping right now is that I'm wrong and this is gonna just blast towards the upside. But a spring down here, getting everybody, you know, liquidated, get everybody stop losses hit, getting everybody's Bitcoin, and then just, you know, blasting through everything up here, because this has been, you know, very long accumulation phase up here, so there is a lot of liquidity to kick, you know, pick up down here, and you know, we might have some kind of spring effect up here before we move towards the upside. That's definitely in the books, and that would be something like right now, something like, yeah, 10-20% drop on the downside or something like that, enough to get everybody fearful. And once that happens, I think, you know, it would be nice, you know, that, you know, we could bounce. If this move over here does happen, we are having, you know, what's called the bottom up here. There is a big triangle, big accumulation phase happening up here. Fake out to the upside, fake out to the downside, and you know, big move towards the upside. This like you know, it looks like it's creating some kind of jump effect towards the upside, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. Chaco Band, the crypto is so annoying nowadays, isn't it? It's okay. I don't know. I think it's actually exciting. Ever since we were down here, it was kind of exciting because we were seeing the moves on the upside and downside. It's not going kind of sideways where, you know, nothing literally is happening. So there has been volatility. So it's not that boring. I think it's okay. Chuckman, thanks for stopping by though. Thanks for stopping. I'm still looking for the 58k to break. You can see the spring up here at around 58k. I'm looking for to break this towards the upside, you know, for a couple of weeks, and then we'll chat. Or we go down to 10k and then we'll chat as well. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. Quick and dirty stream. There you go. There you go. Nothing else changes. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully XRP will perform well right now. Hopefully XRP will perform well. But you know, this inverse head and shoulders look like it failed up here though. It looked like it failed. Inverse head and shoulders looked like it failed. Ciao guys, ciao. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place, 9 AM Central European time on the dollar. Bye bye.